Hi everybody, my name's McElhone, and this is my slideshow of the wildlife that I saw in the beach and dunes ecosystem. For our trip this week, our class visited the Apollo Beach, which is a beach and dunes ecosystem located in the Canaveral National Seashore. Sea oats, Uniola paniculata, common along Florida's coastal areas and dunes. Notable for its oat-shaped spikelets. It can grow to about 1 to 2 meters tall and is a perennial grower. They are found throughout all of Florida, except for the west coast of Florida's northern peninsula. Sea grape, Coccoloba uvifera. This plant looks very similar to the sea hibiscus and the bay bean. Sea grapes and bay beans can both be found as far north as Brevard County, where Apollo Beach is located. All three plants have orbicular leaf shapes. I think this is a sea grape though, because the apice isn't pointy or mucronate enough to be a sea hibiscus, but it's too pointy or cuspidate to be a bay bean. Sea grapes are often used in buildings and gardens as a landscaping plant. Catbrier, Smilax bona nox. The vine pictured is identified by its unique hastate blade shape, obtuse tip, and cordate base that widens drastically after moving away from the tip. They are common in sandy areas. They can produce berries that are 6 to 8 meters in diameter. Large flower Mexican clover, Richardia grandiflora. This flower is a light pinkish color with 6 petals. Despite the name, this plant has very small flowers. They're originally from South America, but are found in disturbed Floridian habitats. Goldfoot fern, Phlebodium aureum. This fern can be identified by its very large blades compared to other ferns. It is also epiphytic on sable palms. Within Florida, they are mostly found in northern and central Florida. White mangrove, Laguncularia racemosa. This mangrove tree has thicker and rounder leaves than other mangrove trees, suggesting that it's a white mangrove. The prop roots sticking up right out of the ground indicate that it's not a red mangrove, which have arching roots. White mangroves are found further inland than red and black mangroves. Black mangrove, Avicennia germanes. This mangrove doesn't have the arching prop roots, so it is not a red mangrove. The leaves are thinner and have pointier apices than in white mangroves, so it has to be a black mangrove. Bark from black mangroves can be used to make tea that can treat ulcers, diarrhea, and tumors. Northern mockingbird, Mimus polyglottis. This bird has a gray-feathered body and a long tail. It's likely to be a mockingbird since these birds are very common in Florida. The Bahama mockingbird also visits Florida, but this beach is too far north for the Bahama mockingbird to be at. The northern mockingbird is Florida's state bird. They feed on insects and fruit. Brown pelican, Pelicanus occidentalis. While it isn't super clear from the picture, it has brown feathers and is likely to be a juvenile. Pelicans are common on beaches, and they often feed on small fish. They fly up and dive headfirst into the water to eat. Ruddy turnstone, Arenaria interpres. This bird has brown feathers with white tips on its wings. It can be distinguished by its rounded lines of black feathers on its chest, as well as its orange legs. It is likely to be a non-breeding adult. Its bill is short and used to flip over debris like sand in order to find food. Black-tailed godwit, Limasa limasa. The shorebird pictured is likely to be a non-breeding adult black-tailed godwit. It has gray feathers atop its head, neck, and wings. Its underbelly is white, as well as a patch just above its eye, and it has black legs. It also has a black tail. It could also be a Hudsonian godwit, but it's hard to tell because the bird's underwing isn't visible from this picture. They are native to Europe, but may accidentally end up in Florida when migrating. I think it's more likely to be a black-tailed godwit because this bird has less white feathers on its face. Osprey, Pandion haliatus. Although this picture isn't great due to how far away the bird was, the bird pictured was black and white with black wings on top and white feathered underwings and underbelly, with black marks on the face and chest. Ospreys often patrol freshwater or saltwater ecosystems to hunt for fish. Laughing gull, Leucophaeus atricilla. This is likely to be a non-breeding adult. This gull has a black beak with gray-feathered wings and black feathers with white stripes at the tips. It also has some gray marks on the back of its head. Laughing gulls are extremely common on Florida's beaches and are named for their laughing call. Sawtooth penshell, Atrina serrata. There are a few species of penshells in Florida, including the sawtooth and the half-naked penshell, for example. The penshell pictured has a lot of prickles and is brown and lighter colored than the other species, so I think this one is a sawtooth. Penshells are filter feeders that attach themselves to a substrate via golden byssal threads. Zigzag scallop, Uvola zigzag. The pattern on the show looks similar to a zigzag scallop. The patterns could also indicate an Atlantic calico scallop, but this one doesn't have the noticeable protrusions on its umbo, which is the bottom part of the scallop. Zigzag scallops can create jets of water to escape from predators by clapping their valves together. Variable coquina clam, Donax variabilis. The variable coquina clam is one of the most abundant mollusks in Florida's beach ecosystems. They have glossy shells, which can be a variety of colors. They look extremely similar to the little coquina clam, but variable clams have a less rounded umbo than the little clam. I think it's a variable coquina clam because variable coquina clams are much more abundant in Florida. Brown anole, Anolis sagri. This brown lizard has a dark striped pattern on its vertebrae. It's an invasive species that came from the Caribbean and has become extremely abundant within the past 40 years. They tend to be much less arboreal than the native Carolina anoles. American bird grasshopper, Schistocerca americana. Identified by its large body compared to other grasshoppers and its single white stripe near its head. They are native to the southeastern USA and are destructive if they congregate in large numbers. Bottlenose dolphin, Tursiops truncatus. This dolphin has a gray body and a short, noticeable beak. These dolphins are one of the most abundant dolphins and can often be seen close to shore. In rare cases, some dolphins can be seen riding breaking waves near the shoreline. Thank you for watching.